Welcome back to Dubbzi Breeze for another episode of Building Gotham City in Lego. And I'm going to start the video off with a couple of packages that we had come through. And the first one was from minifigs.me, and this was sent to me by Taylor. He's a member on the channel, and this is of a Sigfig for him. The print detail on here is fantastic, and lovely print on this. Looks really, really good. And on here we have a Lego can as opposed to a Coke can. But yeah, really cool. So thank you very much, Taylor, for sending that through, and look forward to adding him to the Lego City. If anybody else would like to send their Sigfig through to me, all you need to do is email me at dubzibricks22@gmail.com, and I'll tell you how you go about doing so. And next up we have a package here, and this came from Game of Bricks, so they kindly sent these over to me. So once again, a massive thank you to Game of Bricks for your continued support. I really do appreciate it. And I will leave a link to Game of Bricks in the description of the video, and if you use the code Dubbzi, you will get 25% off of your order, and it does help the channel as well. And here we have the, I don't know how we class as an adapter. It's just so I can plug in several USB lights here, and then it's just going over to one battery source. So that's going to all work out quite well. And I've got two of those. So I just need to work a way of building those actually into the city. And then I've got a selection of different lights here, and also connector boards as well. So that's all going to come in really handy. And some of these lights are flashing, or lights that look like fire. So, and they're going to be used for the bat symbol we'll be putting on our Gotham bridge. But anyway, without further ado, let's get over to the building. And we're working back on the bridge here today. And there were some great comments in the last video, such as these uprights here, a way of connecting the two together there. Following the comments, I have thought of a way of connecting them where I don't have to worry about the actual gaps distance, the exact amount of studs on there, is it will be adjustable. So that's going to work out really, really well. So I'm looking forward to implementing that. I haven't ordered the parts to do a lot more of the suspension part here. I need to make sure that the order is, I think it's over €55 with lego.com to enable me to get free postage. I use lego.com because I don't have to pay import charges, and the postage is free as well when you spend €50 or €55. So it's a lot cheaper for me to do it that way. The pieces may be a little bit more expensive, but overall it works out cheaper for me. Also in the comments in the last bridge update, I'd mentioned I was going to put another one of these down that end, and somebody said that you don't actually have that on the Brooklyn Bridge. Now this isn't based on the Brooklyn Bridge, although the image I showed for inspiration was a bridge from New York. This city is not New York. This is my version of Gotham City. So although there will be some builds in here that look like they're from New York, it's just inspired by it. So yeah, we can do what we like in this city, wherever we like, which is really cool. So yeah, I do want to work on this end of the bridge in this update, as well as try and get a lot more of the side details here done. But also I need to work out how we're going to transition the road there. Now, at the moment, if I slide this road piece up here to connect there, the angle at the top is so sharp that if I push the police car there, it just gets stuck. So I need to work out a way of making that a smoother transition. Ideally, I would have it so the road was like you see over the back there, where it's a nice smooth bend in the road by using the 2x1 bricks. However, I haven't got nowhere near enough 2x1 bricks at the moment, and also I still don't know whether or not that would work on there. So yeah, a little bit of experiment to do. We may even have to just change the design of the very end of the bridge there. But anyway, without further ado, let's get the bricks and plates out and let's get started. And we've started with the amendments to the bridge here, and I've stripped away a whole row of Technic bricks on the top there. Now, previously it was resting, or there was a plate between the two sections of Technic bricks, which were then resting on top of this part here, and then clipped together using small plates. However, I've gone to using this part just here, and that's now clipped into the bottom section of the Technic brick, so that's keeping it all in place. Now I'm going to plate off the top of that just to help give it a little bit more strength. I think that's going to be sufficient. If it's not, the other option I've got is I could put another one of these arch pieces here over the other side, then just do a couple of support beams down there, but I don't, or I hope it's not actually going to need it. So let's carry on building this up. I did look at some images online of the Brooklyn Bridge to see what the sides were like, where the cables went to. And there is no pillars as such down at the start of the Brooklyn Bridge. Now, as I mentioned before, this isn't the Brooklyn Bridge, it's just inspired by it. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have some pillars here, but they're just going to be some small ones. And then I might put a gargoyle or something like that, something Gothic looking on the end, just to give it that little bit extra of a Gotham feel. But at least it means I don't have to amend any of this section here. I should be able to do the look that I want with the width of the bridge as I have it at the moment. And I've just been working along the edge of the bridge here, and I wondered how high I needed the brick wall to be on this section here. And I thought, why not just borrow the bit of road that's down here, because that's using a lot of the 2x1 bricks, and put it up here. So that's what we've done, and it's working out perfectly. So we now know the design's absolutely fine for this section here. The car here can go up and down, and it's not bottoming out when it gets to the brow there, so that's all good. I can now calculate how many 2x1 bricks I need in dark bluish grey to enable me to do both road sections, and then we can get that all sorted. I may very well change the support underneath here. I'm not sure if it needs to use all of the parts that I was using previously. I think I might get away with just putting a couple of pillars coming up, and that should do the job nicely, because these roads are very strong. There is a little bit of movement there, but one pillar underneath that one under this one, and that should be it, job done. So anyway, let's carry on building the side of the wall up just on the edge of the bridge there, and then we can start working out how we're going to do the suspension cable. Now, it's obviously not going to be as steep as that. It's just going to come all the way down to here, and I've started to bring this section out just here by one stud, and that's where we're going to have our final part of the suspension cables. And we're getting there with this road on the left hand side. I've managed to find out enough 2x1s to do the road bending just at the top there, and I've got a fair few more, so I may very well be able to get this side done, but just need to count them up and see if there is enough. Now down the bottom here we have got one arrow in to direct the cars so they know which lane they're supposed to be in, and I just need to put the other one here. And how I've gone about doing this is there is a snot brick just here and here, here and here, then there's plate connected so it's upside down, and then I'll just rest the pieces in there to create that effect. This line here again is connected to snot bricks, which are on here. So we've got snot bricks, then a brick, and then a row of plates and tiles. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to put the other arrow in just here. I need to put a support strut in just behind the road on that section. Then I need to work on the barrier that's going down the centre between the two roads. And we've managed to find out enough pieces to get the rest of the road all bent over, so that's all good. And I haven't had to take any from this road that's below all these pieces here, so that's all good. Next up, I'm just going to work on the side bit here to make it match the other side on there. And then I want to start working out what I'm going to do for the finer details on the top of the pillar just there, and also down the bottom as well. So let's get this all built up, have a bit of a tidy up, and I'll check back in once we've done so. And I thought I'd just show you how I've connected the top of the suspension cable. And this, as I said, is following a suggestion in the comments last week. And it's using a 1x stud. And then this part here I've put into the bottom of the stud, and then that's clipping to the bracket piece below. So that's connecting it all nicely. And if I need to, I can add a second stud on there, and that just gives me a little bit more maneuverability with the rest of it if I need to extend the length of it. So yeah, thank you very much for putting that in the suggestions last week. I really do appreciate it. It has come in very handy. And the bridge is coming along nicely here. Got so much more of it done, and I'll just wait on pieces now. So I'm making a list of all the parts I need to get this massive structure all completed. The white railings here, I'm hoping they're on the pig brick wall, then that'll be that part sorted. The suspension part, I haven't finished this side. There's still about 3 or 4 parts along there that need to be completed, and I need to order the parts in, so I'll get all of those at the same time, and then we'll be able to get that part all finished. Now the centre wall here, I haven't finished building that up yet, and the reason being is I want to have lights on the bridge, and I'm not sure how I'm going to go about doing that. So I just need to work out a design, and once I've done that, I can then start building all the way along there. Now down the end here, I'm thinking about having a couple of minifigure statues, so I just use grey minifig pieces to do so. And at the top here, I want to have slightly bigger statues. So again, I'm going to have a look and see what I can come up with design-wise, and hopefully find something that gives it a nice Gothic feel to there. But all in all, really happy with how the bridge is coming along. I have changed the lines on here, so they're all correct now. So we've got the yellow line in the centre, the white on the outside, and then the dotted white line down the middle of the road. And we've got a couple of arrows down the bottom here. Now, I think what I'll probably end up doing eventually is swapping a couple of bricks out here for a snot brick. That way I can then attach cars to the slope and they'd just be sat on the slope and they won't roll down. That would be a lot better than just having no cars on this particular section. We will be putting traffic lights at the bottom here. And again, I do need to sort the road markings out on the bottom of the junction just there as well. So for example, this line won't be going across there. So rest assured, that will all be sorted in the near future. Just need to work out again how we're going to go about it, what design we need to put on those road markings. But anyway, let's get some pieces out. Let's start working on the statues that we put in at the top there. And here we have our statues, and I was really low on grey hair pieces, so I've used the only two that I've had, but quite pleased with how this is coming out. So we've just got the statue there holding the sword, so that will be going on the bottom of the bridge on that side. And then we have the second one here, which will be going on this side. So they're just at the base of the bridge. Now I'm hoping they're going to be able to stay there. However, once I put the signs going across the top and traffic lights, etc., I'm not sure whether or not they're going to be able to stay, but they'll do for the time being. And then we have our gargoyle. Now this one is very slightly different to the other one in the fact that the ears are different and the wing has got a broken off piece there, and that's purely as I couldn't find a second one of those for this particular one. And these are going to be standing on the top of the bridge here. And I'm not sure whether or not to have it facing each other, have them facing down the road, or down the bridge, or out over the city. But I think once these two are all in place, they do look pretty good up there. And it's starting to feel more and more like Gotham, having these sort of builds on here. Now, I did really struggle with these. These took me several hours just to come up with these really small builds. I looked online for inspiration, just really struggled to find anything at all. I think a lot of it comes down to the pieces you have in your inventory. So the more smaller pieces I can find, the better, and then I'll be able to start building more of these, because I want to have these all over the city, like on the old Wayne Tower over here. These make some go on there. So yeah, we will be trying to get some more pieces so we can do a lot more of these builds. But it's been really satisfying working on this bridge in this update, getting so much more of it done, and I can start to visualize the whole bridge a lot more now that we have got just the side bit done on here, the roads in the right color, and also it coming down nice and smoothly down to the bottom here. But yeah, there it is. Anyway, that's all we have time for. I hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And if you know anybody else you think would be interested in building Gotham City in Lego, if you could share the channel, then it'd be much appreciated. Hey, thanks for hopping on by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.